Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Blake back finally with G-SYNCH podcast season 0. Already getting my tongue twisted. Episode 5 coming at you guys real quick. It's about time, right? It's about time. We are nearing down. We are counting down, I guess, our last handful, I suppose, of season 0 episodes before we move on to the new format, which is going to be kicking off in season 1. Should be quite a bit of fun, quite a bit of a mix-up as we move away from a audio exclusive, I guess, format into a video format, which I'm going to be talking a little tiny bit about today. I know I've mentioned it several times in the past now, so I kind of feel like I'm just beating a dead horse at this point, because it's just like, come on, Blake, hurry up and just start season 1 already. And yeah, I know this is season 0 has dragged on for long enough, but we've still got some stuff left in the bag, and we're gonna end season 0 off with a bang, because there's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about within the next coming few weeks. Honestly, moving into early June, with all this crazy stuff that's happening in the industry, both games dropping, both events that are going to be happening, it's going to be a lot of madness. Some of that madness is going to be touching on a little bit today. This is probably going to be a much shorter episode than the last couple. I know the last few I've even managed it like 2 hours. Like, I think we almost went 3 hours on, I don't know if it was last episode or it was the one before that, but I swear to God, one of these were like, episode 3 or 4 was like, actually like 2 hours and a half. 2.5 hours. Which is just wild. Which is absolutely wild. But, yeah, so today, it's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. Once again, I am recording this at the wee hours of the morning. It is almost 5 a.m., and so, you know, on top of the immense uncomfortability of recording things super early in the morning, there's also the fact that this is just a smaller episode, because right now we're kind of nearing into the calm before the storm. I don't really have a huge topic to touch on today, but rather just sort of my thoughts on some of the recent announcements that have come out recently, and some other stuff, which is even more important, some other stuff I've got going on, which is Phantom 23, Year of the Dark, my 2023 to 2024 content season, which also includes everything G-SYNCH related. G-SYNCH, the podcast here, falls under that umbrella. I kind of want to touch a little bit about, exactly what that is. Give you guys a quick refresher on the whole Phantom thing, just so everybody's up to speed, because it is going to be something that I'm going to keep you guys up to date with episodes from here on out, especially as we move into this new content season. So to give you guys a quick rundown on exactly what Phantom is, essentially, just to streamline it real quick for you guys, it is basically the brand name that I'm sort of running with. It's sort of the main umbrella that all of my for the most part, all of my gaming related sort of projects are falling under these days. So that includes my live streams, that includes my YouTube channel, that includes this podcast here, that includes my my personal gaming website, that includes the tournaments that I run and their events, and some other stuff which I don't want to talk about right now, but some other stuff that is going to be happening this year that I will be hinting at a little bit today. So yeah, pretty much all that stuff, pretty much everything that, I'm working on, everything that I'm looking to do gaming related sort of falls under that Phantom brand. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched my stuff from 2015, earlier days, 2015, 2016, 2017, pretty much up until 2021, honestly. Sort of the GG was sort of my slogan, was sort of the motto that I went with. That was sort of my brand. That's where, Glake GG, my tag came from. And while that's going to stay my tag, at least my gaming tag, for the foreseeable future, the GG sort of brand as a whole is going to kind of fade away, and the Phantom brand is what I'm moving towards, at least. I don't really want to call it a brand yet, because it's not. It's just sort of like a vision. That's sort of the best way to put it, and that's kind of what we've been moving towards since 2021 with the first Phantom content season, which was Year of the Phantom. Last year was Year of the Serpent, kind of an underwhelming year content-wise, you know. It was really a shame. I was really looking to kick things off big time with a specific title that I'm not going to touch on today. I was really hoping to kick things off last year, at least tournament-wise, big time, with a specific title holding like this. I almost even want to call it like a I don't know, maybe I can call it a minor major online tournament for a specific title that completely just flopped on release. It was very unfortunate, and you know, I feel like that hurt my momentum, especially for like the events that I wanted to run last year under the Year of the Serpent content year. But you know, we move forward, and we're back at it again for year 3, and this is going to be a lot more ambitious of a year. I know you guys are probably thinking, what do you mean year 3? Like, now? It's literally June. Like, aren't you a little bit late? Yes and no. So, Phantom 23, Year of the Dark, is what I'm titling it, is going to run from, officially, since it's May, it's going to run from May 2023 to March, till the end of March 2024. And then there will be sort of a brief hiatus period where I'm probably not going to be doing much streaming, much uploading, much TOing online, any of that stuff. That is probably where G-SYNCH will take a little break before moving on to whatever season we'll be on then at that point in time, and then we'll start the next content year. We'll start again sometime in April, which was originally supposed to be the start date for this year's content year as well, for Year of the Dark. But you know, it's been a crazy and terrible last couple weeks. So that's a whole another thing on its own. But anyway, yeah, I want to go over that stuff real quickly, just touch on exactly what is some of the stuff you guys can expect now that we're kicking off Year of the Dark. So it's been a pretty quiet last several weeks, honestly, on my part. But as I'm officially kicking off Year of the Dark this week, this means the return of live streams. I'm back streaming on Twitch. I actually did not stream today or last night, or I guess technically today, right? Or yeah, I guess today. I'll still consider today Friday at the time I'm recording this, because I was like, man, I'm behind on, got to do these vids, and I really don't want to have to delay the podcast another day. Absolutely have to get this one out this week. So I decided to, you know what, stream's gonna have to hold an L for tonight, and then Saturday night, Saturday evening, we'll be back at it, and it's gonna pretty much just be daily live streams from here on out for the most part, unless I announce otherwise. This week also marks the return of daily YouTube uploads. My current upload schedule, which I don't even think that's actually on my channel itself. The banner image of my schedule, it's only available on the Phantom Society Discord. But that schedule is remaining intact, and there's some stuff that's going to be coming out that's not really going to be scheduled content, just you know, different stuff here and there. Going to be testing the waters with some different kind of content. New tournament series is also starting soon. Originally was planned to be kicking off next week, but there's a very good chance that I'm going to just hold off until the first week of June, and our first event for that tournament series will be a Street Fighter 6 launch event. It's probably what's going to end up happening. I'm still sort of figuring out exactly what this first week of June is looking like on my end. There's just so many things going on. Like, I don't understand why so much stuff literally has to happen within the first 2 weeks of June. Like, I don't know whose idea this was to make it this crazy, but June is just I have spent every single moment this week thinking, what am I supposed to do for June? So to give you guys a quick rundown on that, I work weekends, and it's I work long shifts on weekends, and it's a thing where it's like, do I want to take the weekends off and and consume up more time during the weekday when things are just more efficient for me to get done, or would I rather just hold the L, work the weekend? Normally I don't mind, but June, specifically June 1st to the 3rd, so June 1st to the 3rd is literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got quite a handful of things. So we've got the launch of Street Fighter 6, most importantly. Pokemon TCG, VGC Regionals, which is happening near me, is also going on, and I'm kind of torn between whether or not I want to go to that. And you can sort of see the dilemma here. Either I go to the Regionals, completely miss out on the Street Fighter 6 sort of launch fiasco, and that going to Regionals would also mean that I could throw the launch tournament I want to do out the window. Or on the other hand, I can, not to mention that, I'm missing 2 work days. Or on the other hand, I can take that weekend off, be able to enjoy Street Fighter 6 launch weekend, run the tournaments without having to worry about, oh my god, lack of time, yada, yada, yada. Or I could work that weekend, squeeze in some stream time here and there, Street Fighter 6, maybe delay the tournament for the week following. Who knows? Like there's basically 3 or 4 outcomes. Oh yeah, not to mention, I stay put here and I completely miss out on regionals and the potential championship points for this season that I can gain by going there and competing. So it's, I'm going to give myself probably a couple more days to decide exactly what I want to do. There are some things on my sort of timetable, my road map for the first season of this content year, which I'm going to be talking about in a second. There are some things on there that'll probably be shuffled around depending on exactly, they're going to have to be shuffled around depending on exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm just now realizing that I'm probably going to save this sort of stuff for the end of the podcast from here on out, because I know people want to just get into the meat and potatoes of, all this game related stuff that's going on. But since I'm already so far into it, so yeah, going down the rest of the list, we got G-SYNCH Season 1 also, which is going to be starting next month. And last but not least, which I'm going to go over real quickly here, is so the new roadmap / seasonal structure, I guess you can say, that I'm going to be sort of taking with this content year and probably next year's content year, just every single content year from here on out, to sort of keep things organized with what I want to do and just sort of follow like a more set in stone schedule, so people can also know what to expect, what kind of stuff is in store each and every month as we move through the content year. So things are going to be split up this year. For this year, Year of the Dark, Fandom 23, things are going to be split up into 3 seasons since we're already so late into 2023. I guess it doesn't really matter that we're so late into 2023 because generally speaking, I actually like starting like my content years during the springtime. I don't really want to do it like in January because things are just slow in January in general. Springtime is usually when things start to pick up a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to go over that real quick. So our first season, every season's going to have its title. Every season's going to have its theme. This first season for Year of the Dark is Season of the Evolution. It's the first content season for this content year, and it's going to consist of May, June, July, and August, and then September, October, November, December will be our season 2, and January, February, and March, which will be the shortest season, only 3 months, is going to be our season 3, and then there'll be a short hiatus the end of March, beginning of April, and then mid-April, maybe late April, hopefully not very late, probably early April still, will kick off the next content year next year. But who cares about that? That's so far ahead. Let's talk about Season of the Evolution and some of the things you guys can expect. It's going to be happening the next couple months here. So looking at my roadmap here, this is the first time that I'm even talking about this. You heard it here first. This is before I posted on my socials, the Discord. This is the first time I'm talking about the new sort of seasonal structure I'm taking from here on out. May, like I said just a second ago, this month, likely going to be next month at this point. Likely going to be second week of next month at this point. Our season 1 Year of the Dark events begin. It's going to be our first tournament series is, I mean, do we have a name for the first tournament series? Where's the image? I can't believe I'm blanking. Yeah, so the name for our first tournament series is going to be Into the Dark Saga. And our main feature titles, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Street Fighter 6, Blazing Strike, Pokemon TCG Live, King of Fighters 15, and Guilty Gear Strive. These are our main feature titles. These are the titles you can probably expect events to be ran for the most. But there is going to be some other stuff. There's going to be some side stuff happening as well. So stay tuned for that. But either way, that's most likely at this point going to be kicking off next month in June. But there is a chance that I might hold something small next week. But it will be super last minute, which I really don't like to do. I kind of like to give, at least at bare minimum, at least a full week to sort of advertise, post the event around, try and generate some interest. But there's a chance, just for the sake of things, that I might just be like, you know what, let's just try and get something going. Let's try and get something going before the end of May, and most likely that will probably end up being a Smash event or a Guilty Gear event, especially since we have a new character coming out next week. But I'll touch on that in a second. Rest of stuff for May, though, I've already touched on. Live streams resume, daily YouTube uploads resume. June, we've got Season 0 of G-SYNCH, the podcast, ending here, and Season 1 will be beginning, which will probably be happening after what you would call this, after the Summer Games stuff. All that stuff, when that stuff is done, is probably when we'll get ready to start Season 1 of G-SYNC. So I would expect out of the middle of June we'll start, or like at the very beginning of the end of June. So somewhere within those last couple weeks is more than likely when Season 1 will officially kick off. There will probably be a week break period in between the end of Season 0 and the start of Season 1, just so I can get things all ready and set up. Switching over to a video format isn't going to be too difficult, but there is a specific way that I kind of want to do things. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of preparation that's going to be needed, and I kind of want to make sure I have sufficient time to do that. Also touched on Street Fighter 6 launch marathon stream. So yeah, that's a thing that I have on here, and a thing that I definitely want to be doing if I do not go to regionals, even if I end up working that weekend. The plan is to keep the stream on, probably have an open lobby going during the hours that I'm away, and the hours that I'm here. I'm going to play as much as possible, while trying to get some rest. Obviously, it'll be a 72-hour stream. We'll be running from Friday at the time the game launches so midnight Friday to literally midnight Monday, the full 72 hours. And yeah, so like time I'm AFK, sleeping, whatever, it's going to be open lobby. It's just basically my stream on for 72 hours straight. All Street Fighter 6 content, open lobbies, stuff like that. And, if I do end up, my current idea right now, my current plan is probably taking that Sunday off. Either that Sunday or that Saturday. I'm thinking Sunday might be better. Taking that Sunday off so we can do that tournament. We could do, whether that's the first or the second tournament of Into the Dark Saga, we can do that Street Fighter 6 launch tournament then, and it'll be sort of part of the marathon as well, and we can get that out of the way. Also, in June, have a brand new Let's Play series starting on the YouTubes, which actually is it's actually going to be the one that I'm going to be starting this month, probably next week. So I have it under June. I didn't realize I had it under June, but I guess it was sort of to give me a little bit of leeway to getting back into things. But as of now, it's going to be something that I'm starting this month. So there's a very good chance that June I'll probably start another one. But the one that I think I have listed for June right now is the one that I had in mind initially for May. July, moving into July stuff, we have another season of the Evolution Streamathon. This one's not going to be, based around a specific game launch. It's going to be a Streamathon. Pretty much every single season, I want to do at least one Streamathon. So essentially one 72-hour or longer stream. Right now, I'm thinking this one is probably going to be a week-long stream. It'll probably be the week of 4th of July. That's what I have in mind right now. Yeah, looking at it, it's probably going to have to be that week. I'm thinking it'll probably have to be that week. So that's kind of what I have in mind right now. Also in July, we've got a Season of the Evolution online tournament, a special one. This is going to be sort of a one-off special online tournament. So pretty much every season, there's going to be a couple of special online tournaments that I'm going to be doing. There's going to be one-offs, but they'll be centered around titles that, hold a special place or have generated a lot of interest, whether, I'm streaming them or something else. Yeah, so that's something you can expect as well. July also will kick off a brand new Let's Play series. And then August, we've got a special Phantom 23 announcement. So, a little special something that's going to be happening, hopefully taking place, that I'm going to have to be working on actively throughout the next couple of months here. Going to have to be contacting a specific group of people. And yeah, we have some work to do for sure. I really hope this specific thing is ready by August, because I have wanted to do this specific thing since 2021. Actually, since 2020, which was before I started the whole Phantom thing. So, I'm really hoping it'll be ready by August. If it's ready by August, it'll be perfect. It'll be ready by August. New Let's Play series will also be starting again in August, so you can kind of see the trend here. A new one will be starting pretty much every single month. Special stream event. I'll be doing a live at 2DCon stream event. That's a video game convention that happens here in Minnesota every single year. Last couple of years have been kind of sleeper, mostly due to the pandemic, but now, they're starting to find their footing again, and I plan on doing sort of an IRL stream of sorts during the days that I'm at the event. And then this one is sort of a TBA. I'm going to keep it hush-hush, but all I'll say is this is a special Season of the Evolution IRL stream marathon. And then as well as another special tournament, one-off tournament that I'm going to be doing. They're not intertwined. The IRL stream marathon and the tournament they're two separate things. But yeah, those will be the final two things for August. So that should give you guys a little bit of insight on what's going on for this first season. Obviously, this isn't everything. Things can change, and once I officially put out the timeline, the roadmap, then if things change, I will publicly let everybody know, whether it's via Discord and socials or on my stream or whatnot. But you guys will know right away if there's anything that's going to change. And for sure, I think if there's anything that's going to change in the immediate future, it's gonna be this the Street Fighter 6 launch marathon stream and this first Into the Dark Saga tournament, whenever it's gonna be, whether it's next week or the week after that. That at the point is fluctuating. So wanted to get that stuff out of the way. So yes, right now, as of yesterday, we are officially in Phantom 23 Year of the Dark. back doing content all the time, and yeah, we'll just see where things go. Should be pretty fun. A lot of stuff going on, and if you guys enjoyed my streams, if you enjoyed my videos, the podcast, whatever, support what you want, support what you like, and hopefully this content year has something in it for everybody, because this is for sure going to be the most ambitious content year out of the past two, without a doubt. And whether that means, we gain a couple new followers, a couple new people who are interested, or a lot, I'm sort of committed to the ride either way. So should be a good time. So just wanted to touch on that for now. All right, moving into some news for the week. We've got a lot of news. We've got a lot. And before I go running down through all of this stuff, gotta get some of that H2O in my system. There's a lot of things going on, and most of the stuff is are announcements for announcements. Most of the stuff are announcements for announcements, believe it or not. But this first one actually was announced last week. Yes, there was no show last week, but this was some important information that sort of came out. Xbox, Microsoft, they're doing a showcase. It's happening this June 11th. Ugh, that didn't come out right. June 11th. This is one that everybody's been waiting for, because Starfield, everybody's excited to see how are things going to turn out for Starfield. It's been a little bit since we've last seen footage for the game, and it's kind of, in my opinion, I feel like Microsoft, Xbox, they've got a lot riding on this game. Obviously, there are other games we know that are in the works for, this new generation of Xbox. Gear 6 is still yet to be revealed. Like, we know there's going to be a Gear 6 at some point. We know they're working on it. Fable, the new Fable is another game. Probably, if anything, Fable is probably going to be the next, huge, major, ambitious game to follow Starfield, that new Fable. So, I know a lot of us are still waiting on that. I'm personally still waiting on that. But so their announcement on their official website says, we're delighted to announce that the Xbox Game Showcase will be live streamed on June 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Immediately after the showcase, will be airing a Starfield Direct, a deep dive into Bethesda Game Studios' highly anticipated sci-fi RPG. Join us for some new surprises and first looks from our incredibly talented Eternal Studios and our many creative partners around the world. This is the day gamers have been waiting for to see what is coming to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Starfield Direct will invite you inside Bethesda Game Studios to learn much more about Starfield, with tons of new gameplay, developer interviews, and behind-the-scenes insider information. Like last year, we'll also have our follow-up stream, Xbox Game Showcase Extended, airing June 13th. See, I didn't even know about this. With in-depth interviews focused on the news from our Xbox Game Showcase, as well as game updates from our partners. You'll be able to watch our June 11th shows live through a variety of outlets and in over 30 languages. Okay, so it's going to be live stream on pretty much all their Xbox streaming platforms, or where they have their channels: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all literally /Xbox. And I wanted to check something too. June 13th, this is the first time I'm hearing about their post-show sort of thing. It's on a Tuesday, thank God, so it is something I can actually stream and watch and react to. That's good. Kind of sucks that, June 11th is on a Sunday. But it's at 10 a.m., so I should be able to catch it, and I should be able to stream it, so not that big a video. So yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. Again, Starfield is a pretty big deal for Xbox right now. Redfall, there was all the controversy last week with the launch of Redfall and how that sort of didn't live up to expectations. Or was that 2 weeks ago? I know Phil Spencer went on a show recently. I can't quite remember the name. I think it was Kind of Funny Podcast or something like that. He was on the show. They sort of interviewed him, wanted to hear his thoughts about the launch of Redfall and how it didn't live up to the expectations. And people were clipping things he said and just taking a lot of what he said out of context. And I feel like he was very honest about the current state of the Xbox platform and what's currently going on, and just, how he sort of sees things going forward. I know people are saying that, like, Xbox has officially lost this whole console war, and like now is about the time for them to just bow out. And to be very honest, I think we might be reaching a point where Microsoft doesn't really need Xbox anymore. I think they could do just fine as a software development company, just continuing with their studios and continuing to produce games, whether it be for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation, or if they decided to be like, screw you guys, we're just gonna do PC only from here on out. I think it'd be fine. I think a lot of people are just very worried about the sales of the Xbox hardware, and in general, I feel like Microsoft has always sort of been at a disadvantage since Sony and Nintendo, they have a really big share in this video game market. It's being Japanese companies, you probably think otherwise. You probably think otherwise when you compare them to like a huge corporation like Microsoft, but in reality, they really do sort of dominate this. They really do sort of dominate this industry, and they have been for a good while. So, and not only that, but once Microsoft sort of switched and started releasing their games on PC, it should have been obvious at that point that like Xbox sales were going to eventually decrease and drop off, and just in overall interest in Xbox hardware and consoles were just not going to be as strong as they were in the past during, say, the 360 era, where PC gaming wasn't as popular, wasn't as feasible, as affordable for everybody as it is now. It's much more mainstream, much more affordable, much more feasible, and in some cases it's it's much more optimal, just financially and technologically, I guess. So yeah, it shouldn't really come as a surprise to anybody, but I kind of feel like a lot of people are looking forward to the showcase, sort of expecting them to really come out swinging with all these crazy titles, and the crowd's going to go wild, and everybody's going to go out and buy an Xbox, and Xbox sales are going to skyrocket. And while I do think, having a strong software lineup will, in one way or another, will eventually correlate to more Xbox sales, I just don't really think that we're going to get back to that dominant sort of Xbox era, console wise, especially with everything they release coming to PC now. I'm not even talking about they're not even doing like Xbox only timed exclusives anymore. They're literally anything that's first party or whatever, or anything that's under any of their studios, second party, they're all coming out on PC and Xbox same day. So it's not like how we had to wait before with was it Forza Horizon 4, I think? I mean, that was on Xbox first. It was mostly their Xbox One titles, right? I think once the Series X dropped, pretty much everything was simultaneously also dropping on PC. So yeah, I think we're just in a new sort of era, and yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I wouldn't read too much into hardware sales, honestly. I don't think hardware sales, from Microsoft at least, mean the decline of, the whole Xbox platform. Yes, I know it's Xbox, but as far as them making games go, I wouldn't be too worried if their hardware isn't doing well. I don't think the entire company is gonna bow out of the whole video game spectrum. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I feel like for some odd reason that's what people are worried about. But there is the issue too with Redfall not really living up to expectations. A lot of these Xbox titles kind of been falling susceptible to that. So I don't know what else to say besides, they gotta get their crap together. They really do. That's the stuff that hurts. That's the stuff that hurts. So yeah, moving on. past the Xbox Showcase. That'll be something, you know, we'll be talking about the following week, since it's happening on a Sunday. All of that Xbox Showcase stuff, that's gonna be a huge show. And I'm thinking that's probably going to be our last Season 0 show, most likely. That'll be on June 16th. June 16th. So that will probably be our last. Yeah, I'm thinking that'll probably be our last Season 0 show. There's a good. Yeah, that'll probably be our last Season 0 show. Yep. Will be June 16th. And then, yeah, I guess at that point I'll have a full week, and then 23rd will be our first Season 1 show. So, well, we'll see, because at the same time, moving on to the next thing on the list, we've got PlayStation Showcase, and that is happening next week, believe it or not. So I feel like a lot of people are probably expecting PlayStation to announce a showcase for June as well. Nope. This one's happening Wednesday, May 24th. Happens to be another day that I unfortunately have to work. 1 p.m. Pacific time. This one I feel like this is a show everybody's waiting for. This is the one that everybody is most excited for. I feel like it's the big one. We know Sony has a lot up their sleeve. They have just come out swinging, and they really haven't stopped. It's been crazy. Spider-Man 2. They've got Final Fantasy 16. They've got PlayStation VR. They've got the Wolverine. What else do they have? I feel like an idiot for not knowing. They have a lot of stuff. Okay, they've got a lot of games up their sleeve. So over on the PlayStation blog, they say, what are they saying here? So, blah, 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 blah. Show starts Wednesday, May 24th. We already know about the show will run a little bit over an hour, focusing on PS5 and PSVR 2 games in development from top studios from around the world. Expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games from our third parties and indie creators. So they kept it a little bit vague, but I think we already know. I think for the most part, we kind of already know what to expect. Obviously, Spider-Man 2 is sort of going to be the big boy of the showcase for sure. That's the one I think most people are probably looking forward to. I think there's some Souls-esque game that's coming out sometime soon, or I think it's coming this year, that a lot of people want to see. There is also, is it Lost or no, Chrono Odyssey? Was it called? Was it Odyssey Chrono, or was it Chrono Odyssey? I can't remember the name. It was Chrono something. This new MMO that they've got in the works. I think the game is supposed to be out on many different platforms. I don't think it's PlayStation only, but it might actually be. I can't quite remember, but this one was announced. I think it was last week they announced it. And yeah, I'm expecting them to probably touch on a little bit about when exactly that's showing up. I think there's a good chance we'll see stuff regarding Blue Protocol as well. These are just some games that I've sort of been keeping a close eye on lately, because I'm ready for some brand spanking new MMOs. But Blue Protocol and Chrono Odyssey, I think the name of it is, I'm expecting to see during the show also. And I'm trying to find as I speak the announcement for that game, but I can't seem to find it. There's also been some rumors about a new Horizon Zero Dawn game, not the VR one, but a brand new game, or I don't know if it's gonna be DLC, but there's supposed to be something new with that happening as well. That'll be pretty cool. If they announce a third game, I'm 100% gonna get into that franchise. If they announce a third game, even if it's coming like early 2024, that will officially get me interested in that franchise. I'm about ready to dive into Horizon for sure. I don't know if that'll be a new LP that I start or not, but one way or another, I gotta start diving into that. So Sony's show is gonna be pretty big. Really looking forward to that one. So I'm assuming since they're doing theirs next week rather than June, there's not gonna be a June showcase. I don't think there's gonna be any Summer Games Fest sort of PlayStation show. You know, they sort of do their own thing now, separate from all that, just like Nintendo does. I think there's a very good chance that we'll get an announcement for a Nintendo Direct for June pretty soon here. So that'll probably be happening, if not June 9th, probably the week after that. Either they'll do it before or after Summer Games. I think somewhere during that 1 week period between the event, they'll do something. I mean, they have to. So we'll see. We'll see what they really have in store, but that is kind of what I'm expecting with that. Let me see here. Next up, we've got the PC gaming show, and yeah, I'm kind of just firing through these because I could spend all day talking and speculating on all this stuff, but really off the top, we're getting all these new show announcements out of the way. PC Gaming Show 2023, it's a thing, it's happening. If you guys know the PC Gaming Show, which I believe first debuted as part of E3 2013? I think it may have been 2013 was the first time we got the PC Gaming Show. It was either 2013 or was 2014, one of those years. I want to say 2013 was the first year for the PC Gaming Show, but I could be wrong. There's a very good chance that it could have been like 2016 or something, but I think it was 2013 was the first time they started it. I think. Because I still remember that being like my favorite E3 ever. 2013 I almost said Evo. E3 2013 was my favorite E3 ever, and I believe that was, I mean, for the most part, I mean, well, for starters, that was a crazier announcement wise, and also that was the year where they sort of started changing things a little bit to where other companies outside of the big three started to do shows. I think that was the year that Square had their own show. I think Konami had their own show. I can't remember if Bethesda did their own show that year or if that was the year after they started. I think it was 2014. Bethesda started doing their own show. What did Capcom have their own that year? I can't remember, but I know that was the year where a lot of I shouldn't say their own show. It was they started doing their own press conferences. So there were still, third parties started doing their own press conferences, and yeah, they still had their announcements were shown and whatnot during the big three shows. But well, Nintendo wasn't there that year. That's when they stopped. But they still had they still decided to do their own shows on the side, which I just thought was really cool. It was just more content. But either way, PC Gaming Show is back this year. It's going to feature a total of 55 games. So you can already expect how long this thing is going to be. Probably like 2 hours. This show is infamous for always being long. It's always like several hours long. So it's going to be happening Sunday, June 11th. Just great, right? Just great. Another Sunday, 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific. So, that's could possibly overlap with Microsoft's, but I think theirs is at 10 o'clock, right? So is it at 10? Let me go back. Yeah, it's at 10, so I think it should be okay. They should be done by then, right? Like there should be like no more than an hour or two. So that is happening as well. Anything else they really have to say about it? Confirmed appearances. We got Baldur's Gate 3, Dune Awakening, Frostpunk 2, PAX Die, and a brand new game from Clay Entertainment. And then the little description: PC gaming overflows with interesting games. Our goal is to always lift up the broad spectrum of novel and creative work happening on PC, from major series like PUBG, XCOM, and ARK, to genre advancing stuff like Valheim, which debuted on the PC Gaming Show in 2020. I don't remember that. So yeah, it's happening at 1 p.m. Pacific, June 11th. It's going to be on YouTube and Twitch and other platforms, probably Kick and some other stuff. So stay tuned for that. Also be covering some stuff from that show during the show that's happening on the podcast the following week. Whether that'll be our last episode, right, of season 0. So stay tuned for that, our grand finale. And I think that's it for show announcements. Oh wait, there's one more. How could I have forgotten? One more on the list. BlizzCon is back, people. BlizzCon is back. Offline BlizzCon is back. And I know there are mixed thoughts about BlizzCon being back. I know there are mixed thoughts about Blizzard in general. I get it. They are a shell of what they once were, of their former selves. I get it. But from the way that I see it, especially as we are still sort of clawing our way out of the COVID era of events being suspended or completely canceled and discontinued altogether, rest in peace E3 2023, I think this is good that we're, even despite the state that they're in right now, that they're still committed to holding BlizzCon offline. I'm going to keep it 100% honest. I think people are so scarred by the COVID era for some reason, whether it's just out of comfortability or it's just actually out of paranoia, just straight fear, or just like everybody's actually so uncomfortable with attending offline events now. It almost feels like people are just actively trying to push for online only events. I just don't understand why. Like, why in the world do you guys want things to be online only? Like, we're not even in a full VR era now. I can't strap on a headset and experience BlizzCon and experience E3 at the comfort of my seat. Like, it's not the same. We need these offline events. That is what separates us from, you know, these other communities and whatnot. And I feel like these gaming offline events are just some of the best that the entertainment industry in general has to offer. You know, it's not only celebrities only and all this stuff. Like, it's just something that everybody can come out to and everybody can enjoy pretty much equally. Like, we need to keep advocating for this stuff. Even if Blizzard is not what they once used to be, this stuff is super important. I think there's just something that everybody should keep in mind as, you know, as some of these companies start announcing offline stuff again. I know Square Enix is back to doing FanFest offline this year. I think they may have done it offline last year, but I don't remember. I don't think so. At least not in America. I know in America they're doing it again. They're starting it up again for the first time since 2019. Offline, so that's also really good to hear, especially coming from a Japanese company. So Blizzard's official announcement, their official statement after 4 years of gathering online, adventuring through Azeroth, teaming up in Overwatch, traversing the fields of Sanctuary, or warming yourself by the fire in the tavern, it's finally time to gather in person once more. We are happy to announce that BlizzCon will be returning to the Anaheim Convention Center on November 3rd to the 4th. Our players are at the heart of what makes BlizzCon great, a place where games are the common ground for connection, friendship. Whether you're coming to hang out with your friends you only ever get to see online, celebrating epic moments in the games we love, exploring what's on offer in convention center halls, or eager to learn what's next for our universes, BlizzCon is being created for you. It's a community that has always made this event so special, and we can't wait to see you all again. We'll be back with more details about the show next month, including ticketing information, cosplay, and other competition details, and more. And they've got hotel blocks open now. November, I mean, it's really cool. I personally don't think I would ever attend BlizzCon until StarCraft is back in the fold. I don't think I would, like, in order for me to attend BlizzCon, I would have to be super into WoW. I'm talking like in a dedicated guild where like I'm close with guildmates and I know that they are going, then I would go. So I guess if that happened, I mean, there's plenty of time for that to happen, I guess, because I'm sort of off and on playing vanilla WoW. So if that were to happen, then I would go to this. But otherwise, I just feel like the only Blizzard title that I really play actively is Hearthstone. and even that they sort of, it's been kind of taking a back seat with the company lately. So unless they announce something big for Hearthstone that's going to be at the show, I just don't really see a reason why I would go personally. But I think if you're a fan of Blizzard games, you play, 2 or 3 of their games. I mean, I know Diablo 4 is going to be... Oh my god. I forgot all about Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is the same weekend as Street Fighter 6, isn't it? Or is the 6th? I think it's the 6th it comes out. Yeah, June 6th. Okay. It's what is that? Is that a Wednesday? Why does it come out on a Wednesday? Oh, it comes out on a Tuesday. Why? That's so weird. Whatever. Either way, thankfully I have that day off so I can play that. Anyway, that's crazy. But yeah, so, if you play like 2 or 3 Blizzard games or more, I think it's worth coming out to. If you're a big fan of Blizzard, if you actively play their games, I think it's really cool that a company like them is still holding offline stuff. I wish other companies would still do stuff like that. I remember Call of Duty XP. Why is that not a thing anymore? Now it's literally just for like VIP streamers and stuff. They used to have Call of Duty XP for everybody, but now it's like something that they don't even do it anymore, really. So, I mean, it's kind of... I think it came back 1 year, didn't it? I think COD XP did come back 1 year. I think, was that the year they debuted Warzone for the first time? I think it might have been that. Or maybe that was when they debuted Warzone 2. I think COD XP did come back recently, actually. Let me see. I believe it did. It did. So, okay, so it happened in 2016, and then... Okay, maybe I'm just straight up wrong. Yeah, because I can't find anything on it. Unless they called it something else now. Yeah. I don't think it's a thing anymore. I know they did something last year for Warzone 2, but again, that was like streamer exclusive. So yeah. Anyway, BlizzCon's coming back. That's gonna be it for that. And that's pretty much it for general gaming stuff now. We're going to move on now to some FGC related stuff. I know you guys have been waiting on some of the fighting game community related fighting game stuff, I guess I could say, content wise. A lot of crazy stuff has been announced this week. Yeah, we've got some stuff to jump into. I'm going to try and breeze by these real quickly before closing this out. Like I said, this is going to be a shorter episode. So I'll be back in a sec, and we'll talk a little bit about some fighting game related stuff happening. All right, welcome back. Time to talk about some fighting game related stuff. We've got to definitely get a better transition into our FGC segment. Like I said, we're gonna have several segments on the show. We're still, this is only episode 5, guys. Come on, we're on season 0, episode 5. We're still in the testing phases. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm still trying to figure out the flow. Okay, we're still trying to figure out how exactly we're gonna streamline this thing, but. Generally speaking, this show is going to have several different segments every week. An FG segment is a guarantee, an esports segment is a guarantee, and a metalcore segment is almost a guarantee, which I know is kind of the oddball out. I get it, I know, but since the inception of this podcast, I always wanted to try and find a way to squeeze something music related in here somehow, some way. And I wanted to be centered around metalcore. The only problem is if I do that, this is gonna be crazy long. It's gonna be crazy long every week. So I'm almost considering maybe having the metalcore thing being like a second hour sort of thing. But I'm not quite sure how I would structure it. So right now I'm just not doing it. Is the thing, because it's not gaming related, so it would be really hard to fit in here. But we'll figure out something. So moving on to some fighting game related stuff. Gotta get this one out of the way right away since it is already Saturday. Street Fighter 6 open beta is now live. That's right, open beta live right now on PlayStation 4. Actually, I don't even think it's on PlayStation 4. I think it's just PlayStation 5 and PC via Steam. Let me double check for you guys, but I'm pretty sure. Let me see. You know what's crazy is I completely forgot that this game is on Xbox. Like, Street Fighter is back on Xbox. That is insane. I just now realized that. Yeah, so it's on beta right now. Is on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Steam. So if you're on any of those platforms, hop on it, get on it right away. What are you doing? Hurry up. Is Street Fighter 6 even coming out on PlayStation 4? It is coming out on PS4. Huh. This is news to me. I guess they just can't let it go, right? They just can't let it go quite yet. So yeah, right now, Street Fighter 6 open beta is available. Now, keep in mind, guys, this beta build is from the December beta test, closed beta test number 2. So it's the same build from there. Everything's exactly the same. So if you played in the closed beta this winter, this past winter, it's the exact same thing. It's on a earlier version of the game than the recent demo that they released for the game is running on. So keep that in mind. There are some things that you cannot do in this closed beta. But either way, if you want to mess around with some of the characters, since it has more wide of a character selection than the demo does. Demo is just Ryu and Luke. Open beta is Ryu, Luke, Chun-Li, Ken, Kimberly. What's this dude's name? I can't believe I forgot this guy's name. Jamie and Guile. I think that's it. Just those 7. I hope I'm not missing one, but I believe it's. Did I say Chun-Li? I think I said Chun-Li. Yeah. So just those 7 characters. Which is better than nothing, or it's better than 2, but yeah, it is on an older build. It'll be happening throughout the rest of this weekend and Sunday night, the 21st it ends, so, get in that time while you still can. I know that's pretty much the only game I'm going to be streaming throughout the next couple days. I'm not going to have a ton of stream time the next couple days, but when I do go live, it's just going to be Street Fighter 6 open beta. Just going to get a little bit of time in Kimberly, so at least I'll know a little bit of what I'm doing when the game officially comes out a week and a half from now. So yeah, wanted to get that out of the way for fighting game stuff. First, going into the next thing, you already know what it is. You guys already know what it is, unless you've been living under a rock. Let me do this right. I can't yell because it's so early in the morning, but Mortal Kombat 1 formally revealed. So I know we all thought Mortal Kombat 12 was happening, but turns out they're rebooting the franchise again. But to be honest, I feel like they're going to do Mortal Kombat 1 and then they're going to go to Mortal Kombat 12. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where they're just going to double whammy us. I just feel like it's going to happen. Let's go into some details. So Mortal Kombat 1 officially got revealed yesterday. We knew it was going to happen. I know a lot of people were actually sort of expecting it to happen during the PlayStation show, but I think we could probably see some official gameplay for it happen during the PlayStation presentation next week. And they've got a whole Q&A FAQ on MK1. So let's go over that real quick for those who may be uninitiated with the recent announcement. So what type of game is Mortal Kombat 1? Mortal Kombat 1 is the latest title in the acclaimed Mortal Kombat video game franchise developed by award-winning NetherRealm Studios. The game will introduce a reborn Mortal Kombat universe that has been created by the fire god Liu Kang, featuring reimagined versions of iconic characters as they've never been seen before, along with a new fighting system, game modes, bone-crushing finishing moves, and more. So, who's developing the game? So NRS, obviously, it's going to be coming out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, is there no? Oh yeah, and then QLOC is developing the Steam and Epic Game Store version of the game, with Shiver Entertainment and Saber Interactive developing the Nintendo Switch version of the game. Release date September 19th, 2023. Let's freaking go. Biggest year for fighting games since, I don't even know, since 2017. Has to be the biggest year for fighting games since 2017. Has to be. Maybe since 2018. Maybe since 2019. Whatever year Dragon Ball Fighters came out and some other stuff. Maybe since that year, but man, this is huge. This year is gonna be huge for fighting games. It's gonna be huge. So, what are people worried about the most? People are worried about the cost. And they kind of are spiraling out of control a little bit with these prices. I'm not going to lie. But right off the bat, the game's going to run us $70. Yes, we're in an era where fighting games cost $70. I think of all of the fighters out there, I think MK is one of the games that actually deserve to be $70, considering the amount of content that's usually in a Mortal Kombat game. I'm talking full-fledged campaign and everything. Street Fighter never had the excuse to be costing $70. I think Street Fighter 6 is $60, but still, like, if Street Fighter 5 ever cost, if Street Fighter 5 wasn't even worth $60. Like, that game should have never been that much. No way. No way. Content wise, no way. But $70 for the standard edition of the game. They're gonna have a premium edition available for $109.99, and then there's going to be a collector's edition for $249.99. And I'm gonna go over real quick what some of this stuff comes with. There is a thing here that sort of lists, and this is kind of what people are upset about the most. So basically, if you get the standard edition, you can play the game on September 19th. Comes with, the base game, playable Shang Tsung character if you pre-order, and access to the pre-order beta, obviously, if you pre-order. Now you got the premium edition, which will launch on September 14th, so you can play 5 days early. Comes with the base game, comes with Shang Tsung, access to the pre-order beta, classic MK characters, whatever that means. I'm assuming these are skins, 6 new playable characters, which is the first DLC pass, 5 new cameo characters, which is their interesting little tag system that apparently they put in the game, or assist-based system, which we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait until we see actual gameplay to see exactly how this works. So right now, it seems like this is going to be like a Mortal Kombat game that's sort of that's very similar to Marvel vs. Capcom, the first Marvel vs. Capcom, but in the sense where you have an assist character where they just throw out a move. So I guess so imagine Marvel vs. Capcom, but you can't tag into another character. It's literally just you press a button, your assistant character does a move, they go away until you have meter to do that move again. Think about it that way. That's kind of what we're looking at. So not exactly a 2v2 fighting game, but An assist-based fighting game, a 1v1 assist-based fighting game. From my understanding right now, at least. So premium edition also gets you 1 week early access to DLC characters. Gives you the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage. I just found out I had no idea who that was. Somebody on stream told me that that's the guy who played Guile in the Street Fighter movie, the live action Street Fighter movie. I was like, oh, okay. Still don't really know who he is, but I have seen that movie, so like now I kind of know who he is. So that's everything for the premium edition, and then you've got the collector's edition, which also comes out on September 14th. Comes with everything that the standard and premium comes with, but this one costs $249.99. It comes with a Liu Kang sculpture designed by, how do you say this? Is it Course? With a signature glow-in-the-dark details and standing at an impressive 16.5 inches tall. That's kind of sick. You got Course art prints inspired by Mortal Kombat 1, a steel case, exclusive limited edition Liu Kang in-game color variant inspired by the Course figurine, and 2,700 dragon crystals, which is in-game premium currency. So whether that's going to be for like taunts, skins, different colors, what have you, that's going to be something that's available for you if you pre-order the collector's edition. So a lot of people are upset about these prices. You know, I think it's kind of fair for the most part. I mean, pretty much the only thing you will really want out of all of this are the cameo characters and the combat pack. So I guess, I mean, I think what people are upset about the most is the fact that they're charging for cameo characters. So the cameo characters, which are your assist characters, I believe, I don't think the cameo characters are the skins. I don't think they're skins. But assuming the cameo characters are the assist characters, if I'm understanding this correctly, people are kind of upset that they're charging money for something that's supposed to be a core part of the game. How in the world can you not do? This just makes me think that maybe the assists aren't going to be that big of a deal. Maybe you can only do them once per turn or once per round or something. But I mean, once per round, even that's pretty huge. But either they just don't have that big of an impact on gameplay, or these guys are really just screwing up big time and are really actually charging for something that's supposed to be a core mechanic of the game. Because if you don't get any cameo characters with the standard edition, then you're immediately at a disadvantage when you're playing other people. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And it's a core mechanic? Are you serious? That's like Call of Duty dropping a brand new game and they're like, yeah, you don't get any weapons with the standard edition of the game. You gotta buy the premium edition to get weapons. Or it's like, oh yeah, you don't get any sub weapons with the standard edition. You get primary weapons only. If you pre-order the premium edition, if you pre-order our hardcover edition, then you can get access to sub weapons. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I really hope that's not the case, but I believe everything will be cleared up, next week during this PlayStation presentation. I think we'll finally get some more information. Apparently, Ed Boon who is like the producer or whatever of MK, apparently he did a short little stream yesterday, which or it was the day after, it was yesterday, which sort of prefaced a little bit about the game, but apparently it was a whole lot of nothing. So I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, really, to see the game in action, see how this tag system really works. It's still kind of unclear whether or not this is going to be a part of the main game, if this is part of the main game mode, like 1v1 fighting game mode, or if it's going to be its own separate game mode on its own. We don't know. I think that's still kind of unclear. Either way, if you're curious about who's going to be in the Combat Pack 1, which is the first season wave of DLC for the game, Amazon Italy accidentally leaked the roster for the cameo characters and the first Combat Pack. So for the 6 playable characters that are going to be on the first DLC pack, we've got Quan Chi, Omni-Man, yeah, crazy, Omni-Man from Invincible, Ermac, Peacemaker from the Peacemaker comic or WB HBO show, Takeda, I think that's how you say it, and Homelander from The Boys. I can't believe they managed to get all these characters together that fast. I mean, these are like all the characters that people wanted, and somehow they're in the game. So like, I wanna say this is fake, but I mean, these guys really knew exactly what people wanted. Not only did they get one, they got all 3 of the characters that everybody wanted. That's actually insane. All 3 in the first wave. They want you to buy this pack. Cameo characters, we got Tremor, Johnny Cage, Chameleon, Movado, and Farah. So these are not playable characters, I don't think, but I'm not really sure. We'll have to see how it works out. But since this is separated by playable and cameo, I'm assuming these are just the assist-based characters that will be available for you to purchase or for you to obtain if you purchase the premium edition of the game or the collector's edition. So that's pretty much it for Mortal Kombat. So, you know, it's kind of crazy that, you know, the announcement has finally come. We know when it's launching this year, so we know about it now, and it's happening. This year is really shaping up to be a huge year for fighting games. To close us out for our fighting game related stuff, we've got some Guilty Gear Strive related announcement. The final character for Season Pass 2 has been revealed. I think a lot of people probably already assumed who this guy was going to be, but at long last, that freaking man, Asuka, is about to be playable in Guilty Gear. And oh my god, is this character freaking wonky, nutty, bananas as absolute hell, man. Think Doctor Strange combined with Nine the Phantom. This guy is a spell-wielding, page-flipping, book-swapping wizard. This dude is... he has so many different moves. It is insane. This guy has a book. He has a move pool dictated by like 3 or 4 different books. So crazy amounts of spells, an entire roster of moves that an entire roster of moves that he can just switch through literally by switching books. I think this guy in the end is probably going to have as many moves as like your basic Tekken character. So they basically put a spell wielding Tekken character into Guilty Gear. Without a doubt, this guy Asuka is going to be the hardest character to learn, and probably the hardest character to learn to fight against matchup wise, at least against somebody who knows what they're doing easily. And I believe he's launching next week, the 24th. I think he comes out. He is the final Season Pass 2 character. I believe he's supposed to drop the same day as the new network update for the game that's supposed to be fixing all these network issues. You know, people have been having server problems. People have been getting their games hacked. Strive has been in a rough place lately, and, you know, it's actually probably best that I haven't held any events for it yet online because with all this stuff happening, I kind of would much rather wait until this network patch comes out. But I do believe it's supposed to be dropping. I do believe it's supposed to be dropping next week, and Asuka is supposed to be dropping the same day, so it's going to be like a 2-in-1 patch. And I believe I saw the 24th is when it's supposed to be happening, so that's on a Wednesday. So definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, that wraps up everything fighting game related that I wanted to touch on for this week. And overall, that's everything that I have jotted down. Oh my god, I went through so much different stuff. You know, to be honest, I did want to spend a little bit of time talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or Breath of the Wild. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, mostly because of how much praise this game has been getting. It's been kind of crazy. It's left me feeling very conflicted because, you know, I've mentioned it several times now, but I'm kind of committed to playing all prior mainline Zelda games before I dive into Tears of the Kingdom. Mostly because, you know, I'm really interested in Zelda lore, and I kind of want to go in order of, I guess, what the timeline is supposed to be, or how the games are supposed to be played in timeline order. But it seems like Tears of the Kingdom is taking the entire video game industry by storm. Players and developers alike, a lot of people are just stunned and flabbergasted as to how Nintendo managed to put together, managed to craft something like this. Just the many things you can create in the game, the many different interactions you could have with your creations. It's crazy how they managed to put this game together. I need to play it for myself to truly understand like what people are experiencing. I've only seen clips and whatnot, so like a lot of stuff is sort of out of context for me. So I really did want to do like a talking point on Tears of the Kingdom this week, sort of just prefacing, like not even prefacing, just sort of going into some of the stuff that I've seen and how it might work and how Nintendo, speculation on how Nintendo managed to put this together. But I just feel like my overall lack of video game development and coding knowledge and just overall just general lack of like knowledge about Tears of the Kingdom in general, because I haven't played it yet, kind of just makes me invalid to even attempt discussing it. So I guess that'll have to wait until a time when, I have played it and I am ready to talk about it in depth. But, I think it's just worth mentioning that it was something that I really wanted to talk about. But with all of these different announcements coming out this week, and on top of the Year of the Dark, Phantom 23, all that stuff, I had to get that stuff out of the way so you guys can kind of know what's going on from here on out for the rest of the year, or I guess at least for this first season of the Evolution. But, next week and the week prior and moving into June, you guys already know it's going to be really busy. We're going to be freaking packed with just a lot of different stuff. It's going to be crazy. I know for the June show, which will probably end up coming out on the Saturday, I don't even know how I'm going to do that, because that's going to all be during the Street Fighter. That's all going to be during the Street Fighter launch. So I might actually have to record the show before Street Fighter 6 drops, which means I can't do a Street Fighter 6 sort of review show. Oh. So I guess our Street Fighter 6 review show will have to be the week after that. That'll be a pretty big that show will do news, and then I'll probably do my full-on Street Fighter 6 review, and I'll break everything down from how I feel about it, gameplay, competitive mechanics wise, to the story, the music, and all the other side stuff they've got in the game. So that's gonna do it for this show for this week. I know mostly just news and announcements and formalities, but we'll be back again next week, and we'll be talking about everything that comes out of the Sony show, PlayStation show. So stay tuned for that. That's happening. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Once again, if you guys want to keep up to date with more Phantom 23 related stuff, everything gaming related that I'm going to be doing, most importantly, make sure you join the Phantom Society Discord channel. That is my main Discord channel for all of my stuffs that I am working on. That is my main community server. It's like it's literally my base of operations, pretty much. So make sure you join the society. I'll have the link to the channel in the description below. And follow me on the socials, at GlakeGG on Twitter, at Glake Ryuno on Instagram, BlakeGG on Facebook, and GlakeGG on TikTok. GG Lake on Twitch. God, I really got to change that tag. I really do. I really do. I'm out of here for this week. Thanks for listening, guys. Catch you guys next week for episode 6. Be easy. Take care. Thank you for your energy. And I'll see you guys then.